Stress is just a measurement of how much energy that our body is using at any given time. No stress is really bad. You're dead. So some stress is good. It means you're alive. Your body's doing something. We all need stress in our lives to be able to get energized to go to work, to play outside. So stress is in generally a good thing. However, if stress goes too high, if our stress levels start to go significantly high, then what the brain does is basically recognizes that this is not a sustainable thing. We're using too much energy, so there must be something wrong with the environment that we are within. And so therefore it starts to go through a couple of steps to be able to try and change that. The first thing it does is basically a social engagement activity. If we're feeling really stressed and overwhelmed, the brain looks for a social being to help to basically regulate, help to bring us back down, to know that there's someone there to help protect us and reassure us that things are okay or good. You see this in stranger danger in young kids. You know, the parents walking down the street with their infant. A stranger comes up, the infant sees the stranger, has immediate startle response, stress levels going really high, don't know if this is a danger or not, looks to the parent looks happy, okay, stress level comes right back down. It's fine because, hey, this is a safe environment. See this in toddlers. You go into a large room, kid grabs your back leg. If you have kids, you are my social person. We have a bad day at work. What do? We go and talk to our partners or a friend about it. And that's why one of the best protective factors in life for mental health is having reciprocal friendship, where I say that you're my friend and you say that you're my friend. And we talk about our lives and are open about what's going on. So the social engagement piece is a really important piece as the first way that our brains kind of manage the stress levels. However, if we can't do that, or we have an ineffective social engagement relationship, then our brains move to the second stage, which is kind of more the fight or flight. This is where the organism recognizes that we are in a dangerous situation, or a situation that is highly stressful, and that we need to get out of there. Either A, we're going to battle ourselves through it, or we are going to need to flee. As we go into the fight or flight system, our brain starts to reallocate those energy resources that our organism has, as our body has, to be able to handle the fight or flight situation. And so what it does is shuts down some critical high energy consuming pieces of the body to reallocate that to other areas. And one of the first things that gets kind of shut down is our frontal executive functioning, or thinking part of our brain, because it takes a lot of energy to read that brain. Now, 250 million years ago, when this part of the brain was developed to be able to keep us alive, this fight or flight area, part of the limbic system, it was developed to keep us alive. So if a big bear or lion is charging at you, you don't need to use critical thinking to be able to think about, I wonder if I can reason with this charging beast at me. Either A, I'm going to fight it, or get away. Our stomach, another area that gets shut down. Producing, but being able to process our food that we've eaten takes a lot of energy. And so that's why we often get butterflies in our stomachs when we start to feel nervous, is because suddenly the stomach is basically shut down. And so therefore we have the feeling of food sitting around there, which is a little uncomfortable. So the brain is really going to this priority aspect to be able to monitor and be able to adapt. Now, if the system is going on for too long, if we're in the fight or flight for too long, then the system sees, oh my goodness, I'm exhausting all my resources, I'm going to just run out of energy. And I can't seem to escape the situation, so therefore I move into the freeze situation. And this is where it basically shuts things down. And says, going to basically sit there and ride this out and then kind of start things back up. Now, in education, if we have an environment, a learning environment where the child is feeling stressed and there's not a social person to kind of create this this educational environment as a safe place, then they might enter it feeling very moving quite quickly into the fight or flight. They feel anxious. They have anxiety-related symptoms. it's hard for them to concentrate because they're worried about being called on or picked on, or not being able to do the work that the teachers are there. Their stomachs they might start complaining about stomach aches on a regular basis because they're so anxious, they're so fearful that their stomachs are not feeling well. Um, and again, if they sit in this state for too long, then the brain starts to move into the freeze state, which is kind of a form of depression, or is depression, where the system is just closing itself down. So you see withdrawal from the student from the engagement of the activities, not really caring anymore about it, and really reluctant to kind of continue on. So knowing these kind of three levels is really important. We know if we start to see a student who is stressed, then it's really important for us to create a social environment that is safe, that is socially engaging for that student, to be able to allow them to be able to find that social being. If we are a teacher, we need to create a safe environment where we engage with that student. And one of the best things we can do with the young students, in particular, is just play with them for 10 minutes, a couple times a week. Change the relationship, change the power structure a bit so that they can see you as a safe and approachable person, so that they can come in and talk to you. With older students, it's reaching out and acknowledging and reflecting back what you hear or see in terms of their emotional states so that they know that you're an approachable and safe place person. And if they do talk about things, make sure that we follow up with them in terms of being able to ensure that we meet those outcomes. And if we see a student who's really in that depressive level, who's in that frozen on a day-to-day basis, it is really important for us to be able to also seek professional help, talking to the resources within the education system or outside to be able to ensure that we're engaging that student and providing them with the right types of support so that they can, again, engage within the learning